Good morning, everybody. This is James Roos from EnGenius Networks Europe. Welcome, everybody, in this webinar, and I thank you all for your participation here in this webinar. Today, we are going to have the third webinar dedicated to our new ezMaster solution on top of our Neutron solution. And I will just start today with a short introduction of myself. I'm James Roos. I'm a product manager in EnGenius for almost 4 years now. And I have always been in the networking business since 15 years already. And since I'm the product manager in EnGenius, it's my responsibility to share our information, our product information to you guys. So today, this is the webinar for the EnGenius Neutron solution powered by ezMaster Part 3. Okay, let's see. So today, please find the agenda here for this presentation. This presentation is going to be an explanation of most of the features inside the Neutron series powered by ezMaster. And the features are divided in 4 main categories. We will go through them systematically like I did in the previous presentation. The only thing now is that I don't focus on the screenshots. I use some screenshots of the ezMaster, but I will explain a little bit more on how the function and the features are working and how they are beneficial to your wireless setup. So I will start with a short introduction, and then we go to the 4 main categories, which is the centralized management, access point configuration and management, comprehensive monitoring, and management and maintenance. Okay, let's start with the introduction. ezMaster currently is a launching stage. Actually, the final version now is ready, and we are doing the last tests and uploading it to our website for you to download the software. The screenshots that I use in these presentations are currently based on the beta version, and so in the final version there may be some small differences, different from the current screenshots. So like I said, ezMaster is currently in the launching stage. Up till now, you can download the beta version, and maybe tomorrow you can already download the final version from our website, but we will announce it by an email. So currently we have first released a VM player version of the software. Later we will also release a cloud version, but first we start with this one. And if you download the package, and the whole manual how to install will be included to install it, and explain you how to install it. Okay. So continuing on the introduction, the most obvious target deployment for ezMaster is to use the ezMaster as a service platform for installers to provide a managed wireless network as a service. The ezMaster is a cross-subnet management software that enables location to be anywhere as long as there is an internet connection between. An installer can provide the management as a service to his customer. And with hosting ezMaster for remote customers, you can separate different projects and supply the wireless service for different kind of customers. There are a few main questions before setting up the deployment. First of all, who is going to manage the wireless network? You need to determine who is going to configure and manage and maintain the network. And you can choose it to let it be done by the SI, probably you, depending on what kind of function you have, or let it be done by the customer, maybe the customer MIS themselves. And here we can already see a business opportunity. You can provide the management and maintenance of the network as a service. Where is the person located? We have to ask the question, is there a stable internet connection? Or the next question would be, do I want to put an ezMaster server locally? Depending on the infrastructure and the location of your human manager, the person who is accessing the controller, you have to choose where you want to locate the controller. If you want to use ezMaster, you have the freedom to put it anywhere as long as you have an internet connection between it that is okay. If you only want to use the EWS switch, that of course is local, but still you would be able to access remotely when your connection enables this to set this up. When you use ezMaster, you have to choose to use a dedicated install or a shared install, and you can manage up to 1,000 access points with one installation. Depending on the complexity of the deployment, you have to decide this. So again, with ezMaster, you have a business opportunity to sell or rent or maintain an ezMaster server, or only the management agreement with the customer. This is something for you to determine in advance. The last big question that you may want to ask yourself is, do I want to use the Neutron Controller Switch or just another switch? Well, ezMaster is initially designed to be used in combination with an EWS Neutron switch for full advantage of the additional switch functions. You know, they are like an additional pair of management hands located on site if you want to manage from remote. However, you could manage access points directly with ezMaster, but of course with limited functionality. If you choose, if the limited set of functions are sufficient, you can also choose to use ezMaster directly. But please keep in mind that the Neutron controller is all-in-one. So for relatively a small plus amount, you have the full function of the whole ezMaster setup, the Neutron setup. Just to make clear the full function, the differences between if you use ezMaster only and the switch or the switch only, I have this slide here. So the ezMaster is not to replace the Neutron switches. ezMaster is to make the solution more complete and supposedly to be used as an add-on to the Neutron switches. Some features are to be executed through a switch or in combination with the switch. So if you look at this slide, we can actually summarize, because these are not the whole functions of the ezMaster, but in this slide, it will just highlight the differences. So if you are using our traditional Neutron solution with switch, you have the capability to do the management for 50 access points. And of course, all the switch functions are inside, and you can do the whole thing configuration, but only up to 50 access points, and the switch has to be located on the place where your wireless deployment is. With the Neutron switch, you have the capability to use AP clustering and AP configuration. Okay, so like I said, we can also use ezMaster only, but then you will see in this overview that the switch functions will not be available. So you miss all this. Oh, my mouse is delaying. You miss all these functions here. The initial setup is to use both ezMaster and Neutron Switch, and then you see that all functions will be available. And we can summarize the main features to be added on when you use Neutron Switch and ezMaster. Then you have, of course, the capability to manage up to 1000 access points. The difference with when you use ezMaster, the division and the organization of the setup of the access points and the locations is done by AP grouping instead of AP clustering. But on top of the AP grouping, you also have project configuration. And then, of course, because you use both the switch and the ezMaster, all the functions that are inside that come from the switch are also included in the whole setup. The most important feature for the ezMaster that gives into that is like an add-on to the Neutron solution is the fact that we have the cross-subnet management, and that means that the ezMaster can be anywhere as long as you have the internet connection. On top of this, I like to remind you again that the ezMaster is a software that runs on a PC, but this software will be free to download and free to use, no matter how many access points you want to manage, and you can manage up to 1000 access points with this software. Just a graphical explanation here. So if you only use the controller switch as the traditional hardware configuration of the Neutron solution, you have the access points, including your controller switch, locally on site. Still, you would be able to control the network from remotely if you use, for instance, a VPN or something. It is possible. If you have ezMaster, you can choose to put. You can choose any place where you want to put the ezMaster, because, yeah, if you want to configure your setup, you just log in to the ezMaster, and it doesn't matter where they are. So in the basic option, in option B, I put it now in the middle. You log into the ezMaster, and you can have your location, the whole setup locally, and that's the most simple configuration, and you can already manage your network locally. What you can also do is cross-subnet management, meaning that you don't have to be in the same network to do the management from locally. And in the option A, you can see that at this moment I have a switch drawn here, which means that I use the switch for my setup, and that means that I have full functions and all advantages available, as I explained in the previous slide. In option C, it's also possible to even remotely access points in another subnet and manage them from a remote ezMaster. But of course, in this setup, you will not have all the functions available that are in the combination of using an ezMaster, including a switch. But like I said, in some deployments, it can be very possible that even these restricted features are still enough for your setup. Okay. Next slide. Management up to 1000 APs. Okay, so let's go to this overview. I have a QR code here. You can then, if you use this QR code, you find a link that downloads this overview here. And in this overview, I have the main features of the ezMaster, the Neutron series powered by ezMaster in one overview. I have 4 columns. I will just go one by one. And yeah, let's start with the first column, centralized management. Let's go to centralized management, and I will start with the cross-subnet capability. So please remind, as I mentioned before, it would be possible to manage access point directly by ezMaster software, but you will not have all the features available. But basically, cross-set capability, you can manage and control access point remotely, and it can be done with switch or without switch. And it does not matter where you want to put the ezMaster, as long as the internet connection is available. So it doesn't matter, you can just manage from anywhere on the net. Okay. Cross-subnet management also includes a multi-project configuration. And I'd just like to explain a little bit about the hierarchy of ezMaster. I said that the Neutron Switch has cluster management, meaning that you can make different clusters, and under the cluster you can put an access point. And this is how you can divide different clusters. The ezMaster has groups where you can cluster the access point in one group. But on top of that, you also have projects, and that means that you can make separate projects, and for instance, different customers can be one customer, one customer can be one project, or one setup from a customer can be one project, and you can have that separate projects separately. Let me just show you with this slide what I'm trying to say here. Yes. So you can set up a customer location as one project, and you can set up multiple projects inside one ezMaster, and still you can arrange access points inside a group. So in this drawing, you see I have my ezMaster remotely organized, set up by me in my office, for instance, and I have a customer A with project A. Oh, sorry, back. With project A, and customer B will have project B, and customer C has project C. So even with one ezMaster, I can already provide the wireless management service to various different customers. Just one restriction here, we can manage up to 1,000 access points. Okay, second column is actually explanation between the main functions of the configuration and management of the wireless deployment. I will go through the features here, and let's see where we end. The first thing that I would like to explain is I would like to point out the background scanning. And background scanning is a feature that is an active feature inside our ezMaster and our Neutron series. And this is a kind of new fundamental feature that is a basis of other features. Background scanning is doing a periodical scanning on the access points, and it will scan on certain parameters like TX power, readout of the adjacent access point, what is available. And it takes a certain interval and a certain time frame to scan the network. These parameters are manually can be adjusted manually, but the process can be turned on or turned off, and it will run continuously to optimize your wireless network. So yeah, I just show you the screenshot inside the system, and as you can see here, currently in the screenshot it's off, but you can enable it here and set the parameters for and the time frame, how fast it can be needed to be scanned. Okay, so let's go back to the previous slide. The background scanning is actually the basis for the function of auto channel selection, rogue AP detection, and auto TX power. Okay, let's go to auto TX power. Using the information collected by the background scanning, access points can automatically adjust the transmit power to optimize the coverage. And when enabled, access points will optimize the transmit power based on the time interval configured for the background scanning. So if you want to use the auto TX power in a proper way, in a very active way, you have to activate the background scanning to let this auto TX power work properly. And as well, later, as you see with the auto channel selection. So in this picture, you see that there is a lot of overlap, especially in the three most left access points. And with auto TX power adjustment, the system will find the most suitable transmission power to optimize the deployment. So after auto TX power is enabled and after a scanning, then the system will adjust the power of the access points according to the most optimal way that the system thinks that it will work. So after this, it will look like this, and you see that especially the left access points will be decreased in the power, but still have coverage for the whole building. So auto channel selection with background scanning info. Neutron series has knowledge of the surrounding devices. Accordingly, ezMaster can always tend to optimize channel allocation globally and manage access point automatically switch a channel when utilization is not good and connected client is not so much. So with auto channel selection, in short, the ezMaster or the Neutron series can optimize the channel, thus divide it to be more optimal in your whole deployment. Client limiting. With client limiting, you can restrict the number of clients that connect to an access point. In this way, you can force clients to find another access point and divide the load onto more and different access points. Especially in more crowded areas, you can use this feature to divide the loading to more access points to ensure a minimum throughput per client. So in this picture, I have this meeting room. There are, 12 seats on this table. Of course, 12 is a very low number already. But for instance, if this would be a meeting room for 100 users, I would suggest to divide these 100 users to more access points. And if I would have one access point for this 100 users, all these 100 users will try to connect to the access point that is the strongest in transmission power. Using client limitation, I would do more access points, but I lower the quantity of clients that can connect to the access point. For instance, I would do 40. That means that the first 40 that can connect to the first and strongest access point, they will have a connection. But client number 41 will not have a connection, and then it will go to the second access point. the second strongest access point, to connect there. And that means that I can, from 41 and maybe to 81, 41 to 80 can connect to the second access point, and then 81 can connect to the third access point. Then I would have a more division and more balancing of the clients divided over all three access points. If you have a limitation of the clients, that means that the bandwidth only has to be shared among this quantity of clients that are connected to the access points. Okay, radio settings. I have here a screenshot of the radio settings, very standard as normally in an access point. And you can find all the settings regarding the radio together in one tab of the group settings in ezMaster. You have the group settings. Multiple SSID. Most EWS access points support up to 8 SSIDs per radio. You can also assign a VLAN ID to the SSID to separate the traffic on the VLAN. In the SSID, you can configure all the basic settings that belong to the SSID parameters. And in this screenshot, we see the settings for client isolation, L2 isolation, VLAN isolation, VLAN tag for SSID, and traffic shaping. Use L2 isolation to isolate the traffic between wireless and wired. This is a very important option. If I explain it in a graphical way, client isolation, for instance, will isolate traffic between client A and client B, and still client A would be able to see client C, because client C is also connected to the LAN, and because of this bridge there's still traffic open. So therefore you need L2 isolation, which also isolates in one level deeper, and so the LAN will also be isolated. That means if you use L2 isolation, all the clients are separated. Also, if you use L2 isolation, that also includes client isolation automatically. Multiple SSID to VLAN mapping. With multiple SSID to VLAN mapping, you can map the SSID to a certain VLAN. Optionally, you can isolate this to separate them. Another management feature here, traffic shaping. Traffic shaping allows you to limit the upload and download speed per SSID. So I prefer this slide, because this slide gives a summary how can we manage the traffic within a network. And if we summarize this, there are 3 ways how to fine-tune the data traffic. The first one is per port, and or actually per access point. We can use bandwidth control, which is actually a switch function, and then we can already shape or fine-tune the data traffic per access point, or actually per port. It looks, I will show you later. We've seen the client limitation, which is based on per radio, and per SSID we can also do traffic shaping, as I explained in previous slides. So we can do per port, we can do per radio, and we can do per SSID, respectively. Bandwidth control on the switch function, per radio can do client limitation, and traffic shaping per SSID. So just as to show you the whole features here, I have here a screenshot of a switch. In this case, it's an EWS 7928P, and I can, in this page, I can set the bandwidth control per port, can set it on, and then I can put in the quantity of data that I want to limit for upload and download. Okay. Next slide is going to fast roaming. In our EWS and Neutron access points, we have the opportunity to have fast roaming, and this fast roaming is not a traditional one. The traditional one, the 802.11i, we still support it, of course, but this requires a authentication server. Okay, in our system, we embedded the fast roaming based on the K+R protocol. Let me explain a little bit how this works. On the traditional one, like I said, the 802.11i, we need to have a radius server, and the radius server will authenticate the users inside the network. So first, the access point needs to associate with the radius server. Then the second step is that the client associates with the radius server to get certification. The third step is that the access point will forward the client information to the second access point. And then on the moment that the client will roam, the client will initialize the roaming without getting the authentication to the radius server again, because it's already pre-authenticated, because of the radius server already shared the information to the second access point. This is still doable with our devices, but like I said, this depends on a radius server. Okay. So what happens if you don't have a radius server and using our system? For instance, it's step by step. It's like here. A client wants to connect to access point 1. It will just log into access point 1, and the access key of the client will be passed on all connected access points in the network. And when the client moves between access point 1 to the second access point, to the second access point, the roaming procedure takes place. The restriction here is that you have to use this WPA2 security to use this protocol, but that's also shown in the slides here. Let me just go back to the previous fast roaming here. So as you see here, control. So with WPA2 and WPA mix enterprise or PSK security, you can enable the fast roaming. Okay, band steering. Band steering is a function because now lately many more devices already support dual radio. The latest telephones also and laptops also provide support dual radio. And band steering is the function that the access point will recognize the client which radio it can use. So if you enable band steering, the access point first will recognize the client, and if a client can use for instance 5 gigahertz, it will prefer, the access point will prefer to let the client connect with 5 gigahertz first, because we still have 5 gigahertz clients. But we have clients who has dual band, and but there are still also a lot of clients that only have 2.4 gigahertz. So in this case, we prefer to let clients use 5 gigahertz. So graphically, schematically, it will look like this. If you don't use band steering, as in the picture on the left side, all clients maybe want to connect to 2.4. But if you use band steering, every client who can use 5 will be forced to use 5 GHz, so there's more room left over for the clients who can only use 2.4 GHz. Another network management function is the RSSI threshold. This is the function previously known as fast handover. And headquarters renamed this to RSSI threshold to make it more obvious what the function actually is doing. And RSSI threshold is a function where the AP kicks the client out when the RSSI is lower than the set level. So in this case, you can stimulate the client to find another access point in the range with a better RSSI level. To enable, it's easy to enable this function, but to have this function work in a very proper way, you really have to do a site survey, because it's a very sensitive function to use. If you don't use it in the right way, it will not work very good, but only if you fine-tune it on a very precise way. It's very useful, especially on the edges where the coverage of the access points are have to switch to the next one. The last things in the group list here, LED control, because we talk about band steering and RSSI threshold. In this screenshot, you see the option to do the LED control here, especially in dark areas where you don't want to have a disturbance of the LEDs that are on the access point. You can turn on or turn off the LEDs here in this page. Guest network. On the guest network, you find the standard parameters for the guest network, but also you find advanced settings to set up captive portal. So far, we have embedded the captive portal in our ezMaster, and maybe in the future we will also have the captive portal in our switch only. But so far, talking about the ezMaster, ezMaster includes a captive portal. For captive portal, we have different profiles, and I will just go quickly through them here. You can see them, that we have the different features here. ezMaster includes a basic captive portal module with various ways to set up captive portal. We have direct integration with external hotspot services, which will be added gradually and available through the free software updates. So I will just go through all of them. The first one is Splash and Go. We have the opportunity to make a standard splash page, and you can choose this option, splash page and go, no authentication needed. Still, you can put some commercial here or some special day offer or whatever information of your hotel or cafe. Second option is to use a local database. You will enter to the splash page, and a pre-configured username and password will be required to continue. So you can use this internal database stored inside the ezMaster for creating accounts of the clients. And you can easily add and remove clients based on username and password. Third option is to use an external radius server. You will enter to the splash page, and the database of the authentication server will be used to authenticate the clients. And the last option is, like I said, it's still ongoing in the process, option to use the third-party captive portal services. And the provider specific pages will be built into the ezMaster to fill specific credentials of the supplier, and this will be upgraded gradually. The first external third-party, what will be embedded is Cloud4Y, and in the final version of the ezMaster, I think you will see this option available, and gradually we will add more services for you to use inside our ezMaster. I have a screenshot here of the making of where you can make the splash page. So you can see that you can just easily upload the logo here and put some standard text here. And here you see the preview of your page. And just quickly going through the screenshots here. This is the page where you have to create the guest accounts, which is also a special, easy accessible menu item here. For instance, if you have a hotel and you want to let the people from administration create accounts, then it's easy that you can just find it in the main menu here, and you will go directly to the to the making of the guest account per guest, and you just have to key in the username, password, and you can add a description here. Okay, so so far we have gone through the first two columns, and actually those are the biggest part. I just want to go quickly through the third and the fourth column, because actually there is not so much of explanation here, because it's our standard features here, but I will just go through it one by one. So comprehensive monitoring. We can monitor our network in 3 different levels. First of all, in the general, the system settings here, we can see system status. In the system, we can see the quantity of access points that are connected and the status of online and offline or busy, or you can find them in the general system settings. Then we have the second level is the access points, and in the access points we can see which clients are connected, and we can see the real-time throughput of our access point. The last level is the clients per AP, and on the clients we can monitor the total throughput of the client. So just quickly going over the screenshots here. This is the main page where you go in, the home page of ezMaster, and you can already see and read out many data from the status of the system. Further on, if you go more deeper, you can find some more pages where you have a more detailed overview of the status of your system. If you look in the access points, the statistics of the access point, like I said, here you see a list out of the access points, and you can see here which access points are here, and in this case all 2 are green, and that means that they are perfectly online. If you go inside the access point, you can see the throughput of the access points, and if you select one access point, you can also see the real-time throughput as shown in this screenshot. So if you go further into the wireless clients, into the access point, you can see which clients are connected, and you can see the data that is downloaded or uploaded, the traffic you can see in the access point. You can see the data traffic per client. Okay, so a few things pointed out here. Client fingerprinting, just like to explain you, client fingerprinting allows administrators to easily identify wireless clients connected to the network. Instead of displaying only the MAC address, the EWS switch will also identify the operating system and the client information, actually the client name. Then more monitor functions, visual topology view. Okay, and this displays the real-time network topology with information like IP address, ports, which are, you can see which ports are connected between the devices. In this number of the access point here, that is the number of clients that are connected to the access point, and you can expand or collapse the tree with a simple click. You can drag to pan and the mouse wheel, just like Google Maps. You can zoom in and zoom out and move it a little bit from left to right, just to get the view that you want to have. Other monitoring here, floor plan view. So, and this includes wireless coverage display. One way to monitor your network. In this field, in this page, you can upload many different pictures of your deployment. It can be your building, it can be a plan of the surroundings. And in this view, you can use the coverage display after you uploaded the picture into the system. You can place the access point that you have inside the picture, and with the option of the wireless coverage display, there will be an estimated coverage displayed on top of your picture to give you a very good idea actually of your wireless deployment. And first of all, what you have to do is synchronize the scaling depending on the size of your picture, and then you can put the RSSI value, which is the edges of the coverage display. And then depending on the power output of the access point, the shape of the circles will be smaller or bigger. Map view is the other one of the three ways how to visually monitor your network, especially for multi-building or outdoor deployments. You can have map view using Google Maps, and it will just try to locate you if you're not able to locate yourself because of some rerouted IP address. You can still manually drag to the right place, and then you can drag and drop the access points to the right place on the map. And of course, you have to save it, and then the next time when you open this page, you will go to the same place and see already your access points. Okay, one last thing that is in the comprehensive monitoring, rogue AP detection. Unfortunately, I do not have a screenshot for this because in the beta version where I have where I based the screenshots on, it was not finalized yet. But with the rogue AP detection, the Neutron controller or the ezMaster will scan the wireless channels, like in the background scanning, and it will recognize access points that are in the neighborhood or not your access points, and it can optimize the wireless network to not use the same channel to avoid conflicts, and that makes your network even more optimizing, even with taking regard the access point in your surrounding. So we have finalized the third column now, and I will go through the last column. Management and maintenance, and the first feature that I find in this column is the kick and ban of the wireless clients. Actually, this is just one-to-one copied from our original Neutron series switches, and we have this in our ezMaster as well. Kicking the client is very important to understand how it works. Kicking clients means that you one time disconnect the client, but the client can still reconnect to the access point again. If you ban a client, it means that the MAC address of the client will be recorded into the database, and the client cannot reconnect to the network anymore. And the client will be recorded into the database in the block list, and the MAC address will be shown in the block list. To unblock it, you have to go to this page, and then you can just select it to delete it from this list, so the client will be unblocked, and then it can connect again to the network. Seamless migration, one function in this last column. Also for this, in the beta version, it was not finalized yet, but just explaining what it is and what we can expect. Seamless migration is a feature that you can easily migrate your setup with EWS Controller into an ezMaster deployment. And actually it's very interesting because up to now we have our Neutron solution, and we are currently launching our ezMaster, and especially for people who already have their Neutron solution running, we have this seamless migration. If they want to move to the next step using ezMaster, with the seamless migration, you can easily port the existing installation to be adapted to the ezMaster just with a few simple clicks. And this feature will be finalized not in the first release, but in the next release of the ezMaster. One-click update. Also have not a screenshot for this in the background. You see the one-click updates actually in this area here. As we know from the EWS Controller Switch, it's a function that will automatically check the EnGenius server for the available updates, and this feature will also be ported into the ezMaster in the next version. Bulk firmware upgrade, a general feature in the Neutron series. Just want to explain you very quickly here that there is a different way of doing the firmware upgrades here. You first have to update. If you find that there is an update somewhere, you have to upload the firmware into the system, and the system will check for you which access points can be updated with this system. If you have just a few access points, that's not really interesting. But for instance, if you have a deployment with 200 access points and with 4 different models, it would be very nice if the system sorts out for you, okay, I have this firmware, I want to upload my system with this firmware, and then the system will find for you that maybe 50 of the 200 access points can be updated with this firmware. Then you still can manually select or not select the access point you want to update, or maybe all of them or just a few of them, and you can update it with this firmware. Wi-Fi scheduling. Wi-Fi scheduling is a function that we already have in our EWS Controller Switch, and this is also going to be available in the next version of the ezMaster. Event log. Event log is another monitor function, and here you can find different events that are recorded by the system. And remote logging. In the global settings, you can find the various page to configure the admin account, the settings for remote logging. You can reset the ezMaster from this part, and also the background scanning, which I talked in the beginning, is also in the global settings, and you can turn it on and turn it off, or just the parameters here in this page. And the last thing that's also in this is the diagnostic, the connectivity test, but also the email alerts, which I explain here. The email alerts are also going to be built into our ezMaster in the next version, and the Neutron series will maintain a log of internal events and alarms. and you can set up an email alert to let you be notified by email if something happens, for instance, rogue AP or AP lost, lost contact, disconnected, if something changed in the topology, or if the users are reaching to the maximum limit. Screenshot of the intelligent diagnostics. ezMaster features a diagnostic test to check the proper working of the various connections that are needed for the ezMaster to run properly. Screenshot here, I purposely mistype something to show that there is something detected in this place. This means that one port I didn't open in my setup. Almost at the last slides, I want to explain you guys two features, which is the SmartSync Redundancy and the ezRedundancy. These two features are making our system more reliable. Of course, just go to the SmartSync Redundancy. Normally, all switches and access points are managed centrally by ezMaster, if you use ezMaster. And if you enable the SmartSync feature in EWS, this makes the ezMaster to be able to sync necessary data to the device. Okay? But if the ezMaster disconnects from a network, either the switches that are in the network automatically activate the redundancy feature and manage the access points in the same zone. All access points will still function normally, and user can still monitor the access point through the switch instead of the ezMaster. And when the ezMaster is back online, the ezMaster switch will release its management function to the access point, and all the logs and statistics will be synchronized back to the ezMaster automatically. So you really have a redundancy in the management function or the controller function between the ezMaster and the switch from top to bottom. ezRedundancy is also another feature that makes a redundancy link to a second ezMaster system. So it's not only vertically like the SmartSync Redundancy, but ezRedundancy will give you the opportunity to have a second ezMaster as a backup system for your management. So once the main server is disconnected, the second server will take over the management, and after the state is back to original, the service will be synced and the management can be passed back to the main. So okay, so these were the functions. In short, I tried to keep it in 1 hour, almost finished. If you have more questions, I would like to request to send me an email to webinar@engeniusnetworks.eu, and I will try to answer them as best as possible. I really want to close this in time so you don't have to overtime your webinar. I thank you all for your attendance in this webinar, and this was the second out of 3 webinar trilogy. The last one of the 3 webinar trilogy dedicated to the EWS Neutron solution. And after this, I will go back to my general presentations. The next webinar will be explaining about features, how to use our access points in various wireless deployments. So please register to our future webinars. I will upload a video recording of this webinar and even also the slides, so you can download them in a later stage. So thank you all, and please register for future webinars, and I hope to see you again. Thank you very much.